Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to the Vinland Saga. It is episode 5, and well, what to say, we ended off with a huge thing last time. I think everything changes now. The story of the young and innocent boy is over, and we will see the development into, well, whatever he will become. So much being said, as always, if you want to see my reaction, which is in this video, with inlayed videos, go down into my descriptions. There's a link to my Google Drive. Or just continue if you are okay with watching it without inlayed video. So much being said, here we go in 3, 2, 1, now. Very good. Yeah, there are some characters to be met yet. So, what's the name of the episode? Not Sean, okay. The Troll's Son, okay. There's some water. Question is it salt water? Could have tested with the finger first. A friend of mine who was visiting last weekend told me he read the book. It said, no spoilers. I see. Leaving no one behind so that Thorfin can leave. Might be an idea, just saying. And now you're hungry. First is over, now you're hungry. Are they pillaging? Yeah. Wow. Here's good ears. Holy heck. Yeah, will not comment on that one. Still got the dagger. Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's sneaking in. Wow, that sword is so big. Way too big. Yeah. You will call him, I guess. He can't do it. Mm-hmm. Yep. You wanted to do it face to face. Yep. No training. Or at least not enough. Wow. Yeah, nothing special. Hmm. They are weird, right? They are a weird combination of things. Mm-hmm. There's not much dignity left when you're hungry. Yep. She's relaxed. As she tries to shrug it off her. Yep. Like he owes it to his dad. He will break down. Keeping herself busy. Whale hunting. Sure. I don't think there are many who can keep up. So no one sees you cry. Mother knows best. True. Dude, just the fact that they're not killing him, right? Bjorn understood now that Askeladd lets him live. Father like son. Correct. Oh, hello. Yeah, give him the bone. Dude, nah. Ah, well, he tried. Wolves don't hunt alone. Nice. Well, there's your weapon. And enough food for the next weeks. If you do it properly. He's trying, he's testing. Good. Didn't eat the wolf? Yes, you can throw a dagger as well. Getting better. Wow. He can hear them. That's great. Man, he's so determined. You have to give it to him. That's a problem. Yeah, he got better. But not good enough. He will throw. That would have hit. Indeed. Not over till I kill you. Hmm. Oof. Wow, wow. I mean, what to say there? Um, let's stop it there. Askeladd, simply put, keeps this boy alive. For good or bad, that's another thing to decide. But he keeps him alive because right now his only purpose seems to be this hate, the duel to kill Askeladd. But he stayed alive due to that because he was so persistent on doing that. And even now, after he won the next duel again, which by the way was at least a little bit more both-sided, especially that one throw that was a deadly one. He gave him a promise. If he will keep it, that's another question. But achieve something great in battle, so he will make him become a warrior. He will make him become strong. And in some regards, that is again a bow towards Thor to make sure that the kid of the man that he did learn to respect survives and becomes able, or gets able, that's it, gets able to survive in the wars to come. And there will be, I mean, it's pretty clear. it kind of continues what we've seen the last time. In the beginning, he left the ships unguarded when they attacked this village. I mean, it's not absolutely clear, but it seems to me. And when you see the reactions of Bjorn, especially in the end now, it seems that he starts to understand that as well. The ships were left unguarded so that Thorfin can run away and survive. On the ship, he would have died, right? Later on, he did not kill him in the village when he was confronted. Bjorn did not kill him in the forest when he was confronted, and even now at the end, even after he threw a dagger at him, which was clearly meant to kill him, right? And wouldn't he have had his awareness and his reflexes? There's a good chance Askeladd might have died due to that dagger. Seriously. And even then, he did not kill him. He takes no joy in killing kids. Sure, that's one thing. The other thing is, he's a mercenary. He's paid to be killed, or he has to get something out of it. But here, he knows that this boy will become a dangerous enemy in the future. And still he keeps him alive. So there is a weird kind of responsibility in him, a weird kind of honor in his very own way that he has. And it was said before this duel that he, I think he swore by Odin, that he has to accept this duel. And that's the major thing. He did not want to. He has to. Because Bjorn put it in words there. A leader is bound by the expectations of his people. He has to fulfill them. And that is the thing that was in the past already. I commented it when they had the fight with Thors. He had no real choice. He had to act as the strong and partially evil and mean captain that he was at this time and still is. Because his crew is loyal to him, because they are at least a part afraid of him. At least a part of it. He has to be strong. If he's not strong enough, they will not follow him anymore. So they forced him to accept this duel for their entertainment. Yes, no question. Apart from that, we have seen a lot of other interesting things in this episode, though it is about hunger and thirst. So we have our ideals and our honor and our respect for ourselves, but when we are forced, we as human beings tend to lose that if needed. It's different how fast and how much, depending on people, right? So as example here in this show, Thor, as example, it would take very, very long for him to do ethical questionable things just to survive. He would even be a person who would rather die than lose his honor. Because that's the kind of guy he was. But as example for Thorfin, we have seen he denied the food from the crew in the beginning, because he just did not want to take anything from those who were responsible for his father's death. But when he got more and more hungry, in the end, they were not around, so no one could see it, but he did take the rests, the last pieces, the bones that were left over, right? And that is a moment where he broke down a little bit, and he was crying about it, you know, he shouted damn it and everything, because he's aware that in this moment he, at least in his perception, that's it, in his perception, is lowering himself, like a stray dog eating what is left over, or like a beggar eating what's left over. But that's a matter of how you view at things. If it is about survival, and that it is in the end only about survival, staying alive, he has to do what it takes. Yes, that's a problem, because your self-respect is very important to you as a character. But from that, I can take the step over to the next thing, which is this crew with Askeladd, who pillaged a village, who clearly had no chance of defending themselves. There was like no warrior at all, it seemed. And they did the typical thing when they pillage and plunder, so they murdered, they raped, and they more neither killed everyone that was there. There were some kids shown, but it was not shown what they did with those. Askeladd says he takes no joy in killing kids, so there's a slight chance he let them run. But there was clearly this one scene where the mother was of a kid which was kneeling nearby was taken away. So it's pretty clear that apart from maybe killing kids, they did more neither everything. Why do I come to that from the self-respect thing? Men become beast in times of war, and that's, I think, one of the major problems when it is about the history of mankind. Even those who are very, very respectful and have a lot of honor, the longer a war goes, the more gruesome it is, the more bad stuff you see. It seems like it lowers thresholds in yourself. People tend to get damaged, you could say, and then they become more cruel. It's a problem with empathy. If you see too much horrible things, it seems like you are lacking empathy afterwards. They kind of become dead inside, and you can see it in multiple in weird actions that they do. So the one thing, they drink a lot, but that is a thing to forget as well, and to heighten themselves up again, to light your own existence. And then they murder and plunder and everything. And the next day, when this is over, they offer food to Thorfin. So there's this weird mix of things, right? While they're in the fight, they are sometimes completely different from when they're outside. And that is something you can see in like every war. And if you hear soldiers and warriors talking about what they did in a fighting situation, that's something they very often reflect, that once the combat start, there's like a switch going on, and then they are just machines. They are just caring for their people. And that's the thing, they just care for their group of people and not the other side. In this moment, it's only the enemy. In this case, the enemy is unarmed civilians, but still. So I think that's a major problem. There are people like Thor's, as example, who would be able to change that view on people, and they are the leading officer, or the captain here, or whatever, the headman. But it's not an easy one, and you do not find those people very often, sadly, I think. Yeah, but it was at least partially shown in this show again. Askeladd is, in the end, the leader of this group. Does some good stuff for Thorfin, but generally he does a lot of bad stuff. But then that's the time, right? What else? It's the life he chose, or maybe the life that chose him. We don't know. And last but not least, we had the whole situation about Ylva. So how do you cope with death? I mean, that's a big question. There are different reactions when people are confronted with that they lost someone. There are those who break down immediately. There are those who, like Ylva did, throw themselves into work, and I've seen that in my personal history, in my family as well. People who got informed that someone died very close to them, and they started managing. You know, they started like, okay, we have to clean up the place, and we have to find ourselves together and gather up what is there, and to split it correctly or throw it into the garbage, and then I have to prepare the burial, and so on and so forth. And you stand by, very much like the mother did here, and you look at this person and you think, what's going on? That's weird. If you never have encountered that before, it feels a bit like this person is extremely cold and does not care about the dead one and had no emotional connection. But it is very often the other way around. They do have a very strong connection and they do care, but they are afraid of letting that pain reach them, and they try to keep it at bay, try to bury it beneath a lot of work in the hope that time will solve the pain and they don't have to get into contact with it directly. You know, it's this feeling of, if I don't see you, you don't see me. If I don't accept the pain, if I don't accept the emotional side, then it will let me go. It's not the way it's working, you know. We all know, and we've seen it in this episode here, that the mother just gave her the time that she needed, and then just, you know, like a mother does, just took away those small pieces that protected her, in this case the working she was doing, and she did not even say anything then really much. It's just this, it's enough, and then Ylva broke down, as it should be. Yes, it is a bad moment for yourself when you're crying that much, but you need it. It helps. It's weird, but it helps. It needs to be done. Sometimes crying really helps. So that was a great one. A good episode. We've seen the change from sword to dagger very efficiently. I was kind of waiting for Askeladd to hand him over a second dagger after the throw. Like, okay, that's a nice idea, but you threw away your only weapon. Here, take a second one for the next time. Something like that. I was really waiting for that, because we've seen in the intro that he has 2 daggers, so waiting for when he will go for that. As always, if you want to see the next episode's reaction already, you are very welcome to go over to my Patreon, and I will see you there. And until then, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye, and out.